Oh, hi there. A few days ago, a Reddit user by the name of Lost Media Mike posted a Lost Media Iceberg. This iceberg covers movies, TV shows, games, books, and even artwork that's been lost, unreleased, stolen, or destroyed, and even some works that were once lost but are now found. The iceberg shows just how deep lost media can go, ranging from the media that's entered pop culture to the mythological and everything in between. So let's get right to it and break down some of this Lost Media Iceberg. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Lost Media Mike. If you're watching this video, you've likely seen videos by Blame It On Jorge. He's the most popular Lost Media YouTuber by quite a large margin, having recently achieved 1 million subs. Jorge is where I was first exposed to Lost Media, and his videos are one of the reasons I started making my own videos. Actually, in the first video I ever made, I had to re-record my audio because I realized I was mimicking Jorge's inflection because I watched too many of his videos before making my own. I actually recorded over that original audio, making it Lost Media, so that's going on the iceberg. The Lost Media Wiki is the best place online to find out more about Lost Media. The wiki was founded by Dykate after he broke off from the Lost Media archives in 2014, with the wiki being operational by 2015 and has been a hub for Lost Media ever since. The site contains hundreds of articles on a huge variety of topics run by some truly dedicated administrators, moderators, and alligators. The Lost Media Reddit is another fantastic source for Lost Media, but is less of an archive and more of a place to share and discuss leads. The Library of Alexandria is frequently believed to have been burnt down in one major event, wiping out thousands of ancient texts. But in reality, the library saw a gradual decline over hundreds of years, and nearly every work in the library had been copied, meaning that even when the library was damaged during the Great Roman Civil War, and when the library dwindled due to lack of funds, they likely did not hold the sole copy of many works. There are some works that may have been held in the library, including now lost works by Aristotle, Homer, Sophocles, and Augustus, among many more, but we can't be sure the library ever held any of these now lost books. But because of the nature of Lost Media, the library may have held copies of works that we will never know existed. According to the Library of Congress, 75% of all silent films and 90% of all movies made before 1929 are lost forever. This massive loss of culture includes sought-after lost media like London After Midnight, 1917's Cleopatra, and the first adaptation of The Great Gatsby. This loss of film is due to the poor care of early nitrite film, a handful of vault fires including the 1937 Fox Vault Fire, and Universal intentionally destroying film negatives in 1948. Because of this neglect, lack of foresight, and intentional destruction, a huge part of history has been lost. Episode 847 of Sesame Street is considered one of the holy grails of Lost Media. The episode aired only once in 1976 and featured Margaret Hamilton reprising her role as the Wicked Witch of the West from the 1939 classic The Wizard of Oz. The episode was met with heavy backlash, with parents writing letters to the show saying the Wicked Witch traumatized their children. Since the episode aired only once and VHS recording was not common at the time, the episode has never been seen after its initial airing and has never been released to the public in any form. 1967's Carnival of Lights was an experimental song recorded by the Beatles, with the recording being used at the Million Volt Light and Sound Rave on 2 separate days of the event. Since its premiere, the track has never been heard by the public, though many fakes have circulated. The song is the Beatles' first attempt at avant-garde music, predating Revolution 9. The track was meant to be included in the Beatles Anthology 2 compilation, but George Harrison did not want the song to be heard. Paul McCartney has expressed interest in releasing the song, but would need the approval of all the band members or their estate. Before the debut of Game of Thrones in 2011, a pilot for the show was made in 2009, but was poorly received by HBO, leading to 90% of the episode being reshot into Winter is Coming, the first episode of the series. The pilot reportedly did not establish the lineage of numerous characters and did not put the Starks at the center of the story. Some of the biggest changes include the White Walkers talking like they do in the books, Daenerys Targaryen being played by Tamsin Merchant instead of Emilia Clarke, a cutscene featuring German medieval band Corvus Corax, and a flashback showing the passing of Ned Stark's father at the hands of the Mad King. The pilot has never been released on any Game of Thrones home media or streaming release. Yeah Yeah Beavis 1 is an infamous lost video game that might not actually exist. The game was first referenced in 1989 issues of Video Game and Computer Entertainment on mail-order video game lists, and again in another mail-order video game list for Funko Incorporated. Some believe the game was just a copyright trap or a placeholder. Food Fight is the lost movie that still got made and is often considered one of the worst films ever. It's a bizarre combination of PS2 level visuals with a solid voice cast featuring Charlie Sheen, Wayne Brady, Eva Longoria, Christopher Lloyd, and Hilary Duff. The movie wasn't going to change animation, but it probably would have made decent money if not for the hard drives containing the unfinished film being stolen from the animation studio. To recoup the losses, the film was finished as cheaply as possible, leading to the monstrosity you see now. Whatever happened to the original footage of Food Fight is unknown. But to make things worse, the studio behind the film is reportedly working on a film based on Tetris that is yet to enter production. Polybius was an arcade game from the 1980s developed by the US government to run psychological experiments on unwitting gamers. The arcade cabinets first appeared in 1981 in the suburbs of Portland, Oregon, causing gamers to become addicted and suffer from hallucinations, amnesia, night terrors, and more. These mysterious cabinets were occasionally visited by men in black who would extract data from the machines. Some call it an urban legend, but true intellectuals know it's lost media. Some believe the game, in collaboration with Lavender Town from Pokemon, was meant to cover up strange occurrences from Super Mario 64. To this day, the people of Portland clash with the federal government, demanding to know the truth. It's the mid to late 2000s. What's the hippest place to store your emo photos for safekeeping? PhotoBucket. This was a site where you could freely upload pictures in an era of the internet where this wasn't commonplace. However, in 2017, the company added an absurd $400 per year fee to use the site, leading to a massive uproar from millions of users who had their cringe photos from middle and high school essentially being held for ransom. The company eventually lowered their prices, but some claim that even after paying, their photos were gone from their account. Lost forever. Mean Girls DS was developed by 505 Games for the Nintendo DS based on the 2004 movie Mean Girls. The game was supposedly released in Europe in 2009, with some evidence that points to the game being released in some capacity, but 505 customer support claims the game was cancelled and never released. But the title was far enough into development to be rated by the ESRB, making it truly a great mystery of lost media. Today, only screenshots can be found. Other than being a placeholder or copyright trap, the most likely theory is that Yeah Yeah Beavis 1 is a poor localization for the game Rai Rai Kyonshi's Baby Kyonshi's no Amida Daibyoken, with Rai Rai becoming Yeah Yeah and Baby becoming Beavis. The game was never actually released in the US, being a Japan exclusive, which is likely the reason the game cannot be found. This mysterious film was first mentioned in the American Film Institute's catalog of feature films from 1961 to 1970. But when contacted about the film, the AFI claimed they no longer catalog, quote, sex films, meaning that it's likely an adult movie. It was directed by A.J. Rose Jr., but due to the nature of the movie, it could be a fake name. What we do know is the movie was black and white, 45 minutes long, and the synopsis on IMDb reads, "The movie is about how a man's manhood is endangered. He must rob enough banks in order to get enough money for genital reconstruction surgery." But this synopsis could have been taken from or inspired by the 1971 film Percy. Godspeed You Black Emperor is an experimental rock band often associated with the post-rock music scene, a genre known for bending rock traditions and tends to be all instrumental. The band's very first release in 1994 has gone missing, with only 33 cassette copies ever being made and none making their way online. In 2013, a Reddit user uploaded 2 tracks from the album but did not release the rest over fear of legal action. Due to the user deleting their account and how they mysteriously disappeared, some have questioned the validity of the leaked tracks, but based on the music the group makes, these tracks aren't too far off. If fake, this wouldn't be the first time the album was supposedly leaked online. As part of a promo for The Legend of Zelda The Minish Cap, in 2004, Nintendo bundled the game with a limited edition Golden Triforce Game Boy SP in Europe only. 6 of these bundles would include a golden ticket that would be used to redeem a 24 karat gold Game Boy SP. Due to the nature of collectible items, a winning ticket could still be in an unopened Minish Cap SP box on a collector's shelf. In 2019, someone finally came forward with one of the rare consoles, putting an end to the search. While Yeah Yeah Beavis being a failed localization is the most obvious theory, the most shrewd members of the Lost Media community believe that the game was originally called Dweebers before being changed to Gathers, before being cancelled altogether and lost to time. Rick and Morty have done quite a few commercials, including commercials for Carl's Jr., Old Spice, Pringles, and Wendy's. But one we may never get to see are their series of commercials with Subway. The commercials were to feature Subway spokesman Jared Fogle, but days before the commercials were to air in 2015, Fogle was arrested, leading the commercials to be cancelled. I believe this Rick and Morty commercial is so deep on the Lost Media Iceberg because, to be fair, you have to have a very high IQ to understand Rick and Morty. The humor is extremely subtle, and without a solid grasp of some theoretical physics, most of the jokes will go over it. K-Croc is a totally real, totally legit, unauthorized game for the Sega Genesis from 1993, whose first mention comes from 4chan. The only two remnants of this mysterious lost game are the game's box art and a rip of K-Croc introducing himself.
Hey, I'm K-Croc.
But the source of this box art and the voice clip are unknown. The game might be fake, but true intellectuals like yourself still search to this day. The Berenstain Bears are a popular franchise of children's books created in 1962 by Jan and Stan Berenstain. But in the mid-2000s, the names of the authors and the book mysteriously changed to Berenstain. Some believe this is an example of the Mandela effect, a phenomenon of shared false memories that might prove the existence of parallel dimensions. But everyone knows it's Berenstain, not Berenstain. So what really happened to these copies of the Berenstain Bears that we knew from our childhood? Have they all been lost to time? Or maybe, once we grasp the theoretical physics of Rick and Morty, we can travel to the correct dimension and truly discover our stolen history that is the Berenstain Bears. In 2015, Lost Media deity Blame It on Jorge released the video Top 10 Craziest Sleep Phenomena. Since its release, the video has gone missing, being deleted by Jorge himself, leading to a piece of Lost Media by a Lost Media YouTuber. But in July 2020, Jorge sent the video to the Lost Media community. However, there is evidence online of another video titled 8 Obscure Pieces of Lost Media by Jorge, but I can't find the video anywhere. Maybe it's lost to time, or maybe we are currently experiencing the worst economy since the Great Depression and I can't afford to pay for the video. We may never know. A Day with SpongeBob SquarePants is a lost, unauthorized movie based on SpongeBob that led to a massive search, eventually leading to a man under the pseudonym Mr. Orange claiming to be behind the film. Mr. Orange was not able to make the film due to financial problems, but claims he intends to make the film via crowdfunding, something that has not happened yet. The real question is, who is Mr. Orange, and why would he lie about never making the film? Because we know A Day with SpongeBob SquarePants is real, and we will find it. The Ovation Office Suite is an infamous piece of vaporware, a product that is advertised but never released. The company behind the tech, Ovation Technologies, were making an office suite similar to modern suites like Microsoft 365. The product was announced in 1983 for the IBM PC with $7 million raised, and the product was even demonstrated at trade shows. The announcement of their product was a reaction to other companies announcing their own office suites, and Ovation feeling the need to prematurely announce their own. In 1984, Ovation declared bankruptcy, having spent all their money on advertisement and not enough on the actual product. Mysteriously, now there's a company called Ovation Data who is partnered with Microsoft Office 365. What did Microsoft do to Ovation? What did they do to their office suite? And most importantly, where is it? The Lost Media Archives were founded in 2012 by Lost Media Wiki founder Dykate. But Dykate left when the archives became too great to control. This is where the true gods of Lost Media come to meet and discuss the media so obscure that nearly half of all articles on the site look fake to the posers at the Lost Media Wiki. A modern Library of Alexandria that only allows the true elites of society. Perhaps they even control the Illuminati from the shadows. In October 2015, over the city of Foshan, China, a great towering city appeared in the sky to thousands of onlookers. These floating towers have been dubbed the city in the clouds. Sites like Snopes and CNN would lead you to believe the city is merely a hoax or simply a mirage, when all you need are your eyes to see the truth. Just imagine all the media contained in this magnificent city that we may never know. Thank you so much for watching. With your support, the channel recently reached 1,000 subscribers, and this means so much to me. Something you don't know is my wife, who helped me narrate my video on DC Comics, is a musician, and if we can get to 10,000 subs, she's agreed to release a ukulele cover of All Star. So if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel to help us grow. This is Mike with All Things Lost. See you soon.